Welcome to Aussie Afterlife podcast. And just so you know that this episode and this video and all the other episodes and possibly anything I've said ever contains explicit language. So not for younger listeners, unless you're an actual cool parent, or for those without a sense of humour. So remember to grab your headphones for the paranormal investigation episodes where you get to listen to some amazing spirit voices that I capture. And added bonus, you also get to listen to my voice super close to your ear. Could be good or bad. Good. Yeah. So buckle up, grab a drink, relax, and enjoy. And welcome to the afterlife. My version anyway. It could be heaven, hell, purgatory, but what of it? Enjoy. Welcome back to Aussie Afterlife. This is, what episode is it? Fuck, let me check. Episode 48. And this is a collaboration episode, so a dual episode with myself and also Heather from Beyond the Veil Australia podcast. There's a whole heap that's gone into this, and I have to say a big massive thanks to Heather because she's been like an absolute legend with the video shit, because like I literally compress, play, stop, record, whatever. That's about the length of my, what I can do. Introduction, a little monologue, my little Samio monologue that I do usually in my other podcast episodes. And I thought, you know what, even if I have, I sound like an idiot, I'm just going to keep it the way it is, because usually most of the time I just keep going and did it. To get a full experience, get what it's like to be around me and my talking and my nonsensical speaking and just everything. But no, I'd like to say a big thank you to Heather. Her and I have been like talking really randomly at times, like over Instagram, and really kind of vibing like that. And then we're kind of like, hey, we should like collaborate. And then, because her and I have got very similar ways we like to go about things. We've got similar passions. We just have respect for the paranormal. That's just what we do. So we're like, let's do it. Let's buckle down this time. And finally we did. So this one is the one where I get interviewed by Heather. But the next one, I attempt to interview Heather, and then we end up, connecting with some spirits. So but Heather is a legend. She's Vic-based as well. Her and I'll tell you right now, what's that Forrest Gump line where you're like, oh, yeah, that's right. We're like peas and carrots. Now I feel like a loser. But no, literally, like now, we were talking, we hit it off immediately. Like the first time that you see this clip is the first time that her and I have ever spoken to each other face to face. It's always been via message. And so we hit it off super quickly and just vibed super fast. And we've also got quite a few mutual friends, which is awesome. So now we're just spending our time really developing a really good core, trustworthy, solid paranormal group around us, and just doing the best we can for the spiritual realm. You know what I mean? One spiritual time, guys, one spiritual time. But yeah, no, we'll get into more of that though when we finally release my episode with Heather. So, the other one where I interview Heather rather than this one's purely just, she just asked me heaps of questions and I give my typical Sammy answers. So I still hope you'll be interested and like it, but there's so much more to come and I'm super excited. Please follow Beyond the Veil Australia podcast everywhere you get your podcasts, like literally Spotify, Apple, especially YouTube too. So this will be featured on her YouTube channel with her own vibe on this whole entire episode. So please, at Beyond the Veil Australia. And Heather's an absolute legend. She's gorgeous and she's, who doesn't love like a cute female with like similar tendencies to me, sort of, but not really. But yeah, anyway, I should shut the fuck up. So basically, I like to do a bit of an intro. Obviously, that's probably a long enough intro that I just did. But, last time, so my last episode I was talking about, how I went to Liquorland and how they were like, oh, where's your ID? And I'm like, so lo and behold, now him and we have this like really funny relationship. He's like, oh, no flybys. And I'm like,
no, it's like, yeah, no, fuck, no. 37. So now I go, because we just have like this like little bit of a joke and laugh and that now, which is cool. But like I was driving past Aldi and I was like, hang on, I'm a single mum now. I need a like single income kind of thing. I need to start being more careful about my finance. So I was like, Aldi, cheap wine. And I felt like some wine, you know what I mean? Wine being, I usually have like a bit of a gin can or something. I was like, no, I feel like a fucking sparkling, you know what I mean? So went into Aldi for that sole purpose, just to buy sparkling wine. Anyway, I was like, oh, Rouge, champagne. Like, $8 sounds good, rather than the other 13 that I would have spent. Every little bit counts. Did that, waited in the line with my one bowl of wine. Right, I had zero makeup on, zero nothing. I was just there, like, get me in and get me out. So I stood there, got right to the front, and the dude just like scanned it. He's like, "You got any ID?" And I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" And I'm like, "Roz, it's raining outside." I said, "It's in the car," and he's like, and I'm like, "It's raining outside," and he's just like, "I can't say you." And there's people waiting, and I'm just like, "This is so embarrassing." I said, "I'm 37 years old. I know I should be fucking compliment, but I'm not. I'm 25. Like, come off it." I just like to walk my ass out in the rain in all my glory. I get to the car, open the door, go through my bag, and realise my ID was not in there. And I was like, "You better take the Vic Roads that the other guy made me download at Liquorland." So I was like, so I went back in. He makes me wait at the back of the line while these people have like 2 trolleys full, multiple. Like, I'm sitting there, I'm just like, I'm like, "Sam, keep it together. Keep it together. You're a lovely person. It's okay. He's only just doing his job." I got up there and I was like, "You better take the Vic Roads app. I don't have my ID on me." He's like, "Yeah, I'll do." I literally went like this. That was it. I'm like, "Did you even look at the birth date?" And he's like, "No, sorry." I'm like, "Are you literally going to rain?" And I'm sitting there and I'm like, my fringe was all wet and that. And I'm just like, "Oh, sorry about that, but I've got to do that to you when I look under 25. And I was like, "Do you honestly think I look under 25? And he's like, "Well, I did at the time." And I was like, "Yeah, just tap and go, thank you." Off I go with my warm bottle of sparkling wine out to the car like you. But anyway, then I waited a few hours and I got chilled and I was happy after that. So that was cool. But yeah. So I cannot wait for all you guys to listen to the next few episodes that will be upcoming, which will feature Heather and myself. This one, as I said, Heather interviews me. Aussie Afterlife, asking me all the amazing questions. And the next couple will be when I attempt to interview Heather. However, we end up, as I said, connecting with some spirits and going deep. So it's wild. Can't wait. Loves it. I really hope you guys enjoy my very first YouTube episode proper. What of it? But yeah, so let's get to this episode with Heather from Beyond the Veil interviewing moi. Aussie Afterlife.
Sam, welcome to the podcast. I'm so excited we finally got to do this because we have chatted about it quite a few times. But yeah, how you going? Welcome.
Oh my God, thank you so much for having me on. I know, I'm so excited. Like, it's been great. We'll be like, "Oh, let's do this and let's do that." And I'm just like, "Nah, we need to like nail this in and get it done." So thank you so much for having me on your podcast. It's been wonderful watching your growth and watching everything you've been doing. So I love it. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And the same to you. I've been loving listening. Slight disclosure here. So like when I was working in my old job, we used to have to go to the city for training, and it's about a good hour on the train for me. And that was how I discovered your podcast, because I was kind of sitting on the train. I was like, "Ooh, let me check out this podcast." So a lot of your episodes I listened to on the commute on the train to like training, and I was just like, "Oh, this has made my day." So I've been loving it too.
Oh my God, that's still so wild for me to think that like people are actually listening to me anywhere. Like, I remember like not too long ago, someone texted me like, "Oh, we're on our way to Arradale from Adelaide and we're listening to your episode." And I was like, people are listening to me talk on the way. I was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "That's wild." I'm like, "I'm an idiot." Like, what are you listening to? It's like, no, I'm not. But it's just, yeah, it's still really humbling. And it's just so cool to know that people are actually out there listening to what I have to say and actually enjoying it rather than being like, I'm offended. So it's like,
Oh, 100%. I feel that too. I'm like, it's just it's just so easy to connect with. And I think that's why I was just kind of like, yeah, I love this. I can just connect with it. I just get you. You just get, like, I don't know, the way you explain stuff too. It's just kind of like, oh my God, she just knows how to explain this, or she just knows how to do that. And even in some of the episodes where you've had EVPs, and some of them I've literally just had my phone playing, no headphones, doing something in the house, and I can still hear them so clearly as well. I'm kind of like, either there's like something going on with my hearing and I'm like really got supersonic hearing, or that's just like beautifully clear, like EVP. So yeah,
It's
just
awesome. And the more
love
you
it.
do it, the better it gets. Like the first, like I reckon if I went back and listened to some of my old recordings, I'd be like, holy mother of, oh my God, I've missed so much. And like the more you do it, the more in tune your ears get. And you can identify just within your own mind and your own head and everywhere what is a spirit voice and what is someone else's voice. Because like you can still be in a group, even a couple of people there, and you hear something different. You're like, that didn't happen. Like, and people go, oh yeah, right, what was it? It's like that voice has a different frequency. It sounds different, it has a different frequency, and you know it ain't the person near you. But I always try to use the ones that are obviously clearly where I'm majority alone, so people can't sort of, I'm always open to people being skeptical, but I would never put anything on my podcast that I was not like, I've got no fucking idea how that happened.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because then I'll just look like an idiot. So it's just like, I don't need that.
Yeah, no, that's it. We ain't got time for that shit. That's just too hard.
I already look like one anyway. People is like, she's, oh, here we go. Oh, Sam thinks she's got another ghost voice. It's cool, whatever. When it's really like, Joe down the other end taking a shit in the toilet or something. So it's like, yeah, sorry, that was inappropriate. But yeah,
no. It's cool. It's totally cool. There's like nothing's off limits here. I love that. But like, I guess
it's a Friday night.
It is a Friday night, and it's kind of just that point of the day where you're just like, oh, I can just chill. We could just, nothing's too hard. Everything is just like open, and we can just be like, cool. We can just say whatever it is. So yeah,
I can't help but just be open. Like I try and like,
yeah,
calm it down. It'd be like 2 minutes and I'm just, oh, fuck. Like, it's just like, oh my God, there I am. I'm back.
yeah, that's it. I just needed that little second to like chill, and now I'm back. I'm re-energized.
Yeah. It didn't help at all. But anyway, yeah.
Oh my God, I love it. But I suppose really to kind of kick off the questions for everybody, and I know, there'll probably be a lot of people that haven't heard your podcast. So what actually drew you into the paranormal first? And was there like a moment or moments that made you kind of go, I really want to talk about this more than just like in my own experience? Like I want to actually take this into something else like the podcast.
Well, I've always been a believer since I was a small child. I had multiple experiences as a kid that I could never explain. And it just always intrigued me, but also back then it used to terrify me to the point where I actually did not want to deal with it. I was like, I loved it, but I was like, I don't want, like, I loved horror movies. I loved anything horror, ghost, anything. I loved it. But if it happened to me personally, it would terrify me completely. And then as I got older, after a couple of experiences when I was younger and sort of just gone, oh yeah, whatever, trying to sort of shut stuff off, I've always felt incredibly intuitive and very empathetic, and I felt a lot of things that I could never understand why I felt the way that I felt. And as I've learned and as I've grown, I'm like, oh, okay, now I get it. So I don't know what I am. I don't know what gifts I have, but I know that I've got something because I can connect with somehow, whatever. Like I've got no idea, and I don't really want to put a label on it, but it's like I love connecting with everybody living. Well, I still classify them as living, whether they're on this plane or not. So it's kind of like spiritual or whatever. But my main driver for doing this was because I was terrified of death.
Yeah.
Terrified of death. So I was like, I need to find proof that we exist after, just to ease my anxiety. And also I'd lost my nan, who was incredibly important to me, pretty much like a second mother, and I'd lost my nan, and I just wanted to know that she was there still looking after me. And also when I was actually looking after my nan when she was still alive, which I have mentioned, I think, an episode in my podcast as well. Yeah, my pop had already passed away, and I'd had some crazy experiences there when I was looking after her, like the radio turning on and it was like Richmond playing, and it was just, I'm just like, hey, Pop. I was like, yeah, I know. And it was like such a superficial connection, but I knew that there was something. But the more I've delved in, the more I've met people with different gifts and different abilities, the more I've learned. I'm sitting there going, oh my God, like, I don't care if people think I'm insane, but I'm just thinking, I feel personally, I don't know what my gifts, whatever, if they are gifts or my sensitivities are, but I just want to keep exploring them. And I love it because I can connect with my family members that are gone. And that's my main thing, is like, I love connecting with spirits or people that have passed on that might have their story that hasn't been told yet, or they want their voice heard. They want their volume bumped up a bit. So that's my main thing. So yeah, I'm not about, fucking demons and shit. Like, I'm not about dark stuff. Like, if dark stuff pops up that much, I'm like, yeah, that's cool. But I'm not out there looking for the big ooh kind of stuff. I'm like, no, I want real connection. I want to provide spirits with validation and the ability to be heard, and just, yeah, awareness of some really beautiful stuff. Like, paranormal does not have to be dark and nasty and scary and like kind of stuff. It can be really beautiful as well.
100%. I absolutely agree with exactly what you're saying there, because I know that's a lot like me. I think when you're going in where you'll kind of have this like curiosity of, whether it's anxiety driven, whether it's just a thirst for knowledge, whatever that might be to the individual, it's sort of like, I need to know that there's more beyond this. And it's kind of cool when you get to connect with the ones that you knew and your loved ones, and having those little moments where you're kind of like, you know what, to the average Joe, they're going to think I'm a fucking nut job. But to me, that's something special. And I absolutely just totally get it on that level, because I'm very much the same. It's that if I was to go somewhere, I want to connect with the stories of that place, that area, whatever it is. It could be a freaking tree that's been carved. I'll be like, you know what? I want to connect with whatever the story is with this tree, with the person that's sculpted it, with all of that sort of stuff. Like, there's stories in everything, and
it's a history. It's the essence of the person. And like, of course, like, you can get really cool stuff from dealing with the dark, and I'm not saying I don't, because like I go to like a lot of dark places, but I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of paranormal stuff that focuses on, oh my God, let's get like demonic energy, and like, let's focus on this, that's happening. And then these beautiful, gorgeous spirits that are just sitting back being like, oh, but what about, I might have only been, someone that was a blacksmith or someone that was a housewife, why is it my voice more important than something that's nasty and horrible? It's kind of like, no, I want to connect with everything. Like, anyone that wants to connect with me, I'm like, I'll talk to you about it. And like, and it's just like, and that's what's really special. And like, I think most of my favorite evidence that I've got has just been, and I've been able to connect it to actually history as well, which has been like afterwards, which has been fucking super awesome. And it's just, it gives me like a sense of completion every time. So it's really lovely.
Yeah, I love that. And that's the other thing too, is you get, people that are like, as you were saying before, they're very much about the fear factor, the dark, the negative. And, the other side of that is like, you've got people, as you said, they're kind of being lost in the shadows, but sometimes they're also being misidentified. And then they get to that point where they're like, fuck you. Why are you calling me demonic? I'm pissed off. You're in my space.
You're being rude to me. Like, you're in my shit asking me to do stuff I do not want to fucking do. And you're calling me an asshole or stuff. And I'm sitting there going, I'm just distressed. I'm stuck here.
Yeah.
Like, I look at every spirit that I come in contact with as a human being. 100%. And it's like, and I speak to them as I would speak to another human being. I'm not going to speak to them like
negatively.
No. Like, would you go anywhere and talk to, like, someone at a dinner table go, why the hell are you here?
Yeah.
how do you plan on dying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, you know, do you
Yeah.
reckon your wife's going to poison you tonight? Like, kind of shit. You'd be like,
Oh, no, it's
hey,
just ass making the sandwich. It's fine.
yeah, it's all good. It's like, I was at
Yeah.
a cafe. It's like, oh, she has been rather angry lately. Like, But no, it's like,
It could be worse. It could be beef Wellington mushrooms.
oh, legit. Like, but like, it's like, oh, fuck. But no, it's kind of, you go and go, well, tell me about your life. Tell me your story. Like, who were you? When were you around? Tell me about you. What did you do for you? Like, what did you love? Like, that's what I just love to do. And that's usually what I do when I go out investigating. And I think that's why I get really great evidence, because I'm not out there being provocative. I'm just out there just being
100%.
like, I'm curious. I don't want to know about you and who you are. If you're, you know, whether they believe they're alive or I don't know what. We don't know what goes on. So I
Yeah.
just talk to them how I would anyone else I'd meet. So, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I really love that. And I guess because you've explored a lot of really cool locations and lots of episode on all of these locations, guys, too, is lots of fantastic evidence. So make sure you go and have a look. But I suppose what's probably been one of those locations where it's really, whether it's like left, oh, I don't know whether I'd say psychic scar or like a physical thing, or is there something that in your everyday that it's just kind of stuck with you? Like it's kind of left a mark on you in some way, shape, or form. Like, what's one of those locations or experiences that you've had that happen?
Definitely Arrowdale, number one. I've been there probably about at least 15 times. There's some connection that I have to that place. And for a while there, I thought it was a negative one, but I'm like, no, there's something else that goes deeper there. I go that I can walk through the halls of anything and not be frightened at all. I'm more than happy to do whatever. But there's something about Arrowdale that I'm a psych nurse, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, and whether in a past life I was there, I don't know, but Arrowdale feels I
Familiar.
feel close. Yeah, it feels familiar in a different way to me, and it's not frightening. I don't, whatever. But there've been a couple of other places though that have really stuck in my mind, and I think was probably my first sleepover at an investigation, which was the Lansfield Guest House.
Ooh.
Yeah, which was through Kite Paranormal. So
Yeah.
thanks, Dolly. Yeah. But that was, I swear to, like, if you've ever seen The Shining, you know, Stephen King's Shining, you know,
Yeah.
Stanley Kubrick Shining. If you want something close to Vic, that's going to be close to, you know, the Stanley Hotel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though it's much smaller, but the Lansfield Hotel, I stayed a night in there. I think I might have been room 14. I've got stuff on my Instagram anyway. And it was this tiny room, and there was an ensuite just off there, and it was just me. And I was okay. Like, but this particular corridor where the room was quite dark. And I was fine until I went to bed. And then, oh, well, actually, no, earlier on, I was like, oh, I'll just see if I can get it. I'll capture an EVP. And I went in the bathroom and whatever. I put my phone on record and put it in the bed. And then I went to the bathroom and came back out. And then later, obviously, I've reviewed the footage or reviewed the audio afterwards. And you can hear the springs, someone sitting down on the bed. And then it being lifted back off. And there was no one else in that room. Like, I make sure, like, if I'm in my room by myself, like, I'm like hyper vigilant. I'll lock that door. There was no one else in that room but me. And I just threw my phone down. You could hear the phone being thrown down. And you can hear it on the episode too. And I go to the toilet. You can hear me even like washing my hands. And you can hear this like,
me.
yeah, and I'm just like, oh, I'm just doing, you know, nothing. Like, it's like, but I was literally just, you could hear the springs, like someone sitting down, like they're, and then you could hear the up it goes, and then I come back out. And I'm just like, that, even though it wasn't a voice, that was the most compelling thing I think I've ever heard
And to have
in
them,
my life,
like,
because it wasn't a voice. It was just like,
Yeah.
how can I explain that? Like, the door was locked. I was never by myself. I was clearly in it, the ensuite,
Yeah.
and I've purposely pressed record and heard like it was like old bed springs. But even that though, but then when I tried to sleep there overnight, the emotions that I picked up from something there was not, I cried for about half an hour. I just wanted to go home. I longed for home. I longed for something that I couldn't identify what I was longing for. And it came out of nowhere. And I lied there and I just cried and cried and cried. And I was like this close to driving home. And I'm like, no, you cannot drive home at fucking 2 a.m. in the morning from Lansfield back to Ballarat because you're either going to hit a roo or you're going to die. So it's like, I sat there and I was like, okay, let's just try and then it eventually left. But like the feelings that I had, and like I've got recordings of it as on the podcast episode, you can hear me be so distressed, but there's no
rhyme or reason as to why.
No.
Yeah.
And I felt it was this pure pain, like longing of somebody. And I was lying there just like, I just want my family. I want someone. Like, I have to get out of here. I need to. It was really intense. And it eventually left, and I didn't really sleep much that night though. Like I was on and off. I might have had only a couple of hours, and I left and went home, and I was just like, that was probably the most. And it doesn't even sound like much, but like the emotional toll and everything else, the whole experience of the whole entire investigation was a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that place is haunted as fuck.
It sounds it like, and that's the thing, like it's one thing hearing the voices. And I mean, I know for me, like, look, and you know, part of me having that mental health, like brain, and then kind of like being spiritual as well, I feel really torn sometimes because I'm kind of like, have I got like schizophrenia or something? And then it's like, no, because
oh my God, legit. Yeah. You
know,
start
like,
thinking you've got like a mental illness.
Yeah.
I started thinking, I'm like, hang on. I was like, I've been looking after people with schizophrenia and like psychotic illnesses forever. And I'm sitting there going, why am I feeling this right now? But there's no reason why I'm feeling this. I'm like, oh my God, am I getting unwell? And then you just, it's great to get your evidence though, because then you're kind of like, oh, and then when you start trusting yourself, you realize actually, no, because it only happens when I'm doing this. It doesn't happen when I'm showering, or it's like
exactly, exactly. And that's
I feel like with schizophrenia, you can't choose what happens.
No, there's no on and off button for that one. It just happens when it happens. I have the ability to. I've now worked out that I can turn it on and off. So yeah,
you can.
It is.
Yep.
It is weird when you kind of sit there and you have those. I can hear the voices and I'm getting the images, so I know I'm channeling something. And so if you were to hear a voice on an EVP, you'd be like, fuck, that's cool. But if you're used to, sounds really bad again, but if you're used to hearing voices, you're kind of like, meh, it's just a voice. But to have that, like,
do you actually hear the voice, or is it your own thoughts? But it's so quick you can't come up with it. That's what happens to me.
Yeah, it's kind of a combination of both. So like I've had moments where I've channeled things and I've seen them visually, but it's like I'm hearing it in my thought.
Yep.
And then there are other times when there's something that I'm not going to say negative, but something that's more aggressive might be the best way to describe it. When they're more aggressive, I get the full visual. I hear their tone. I hear their voice. And a lot of it comes out quite like guttural and quite like, you know, so like if I was to tune into something that may have been somewhere like an abandoned jail or like an asylum or something like that, where you know, people are really not in a good place, I'm going to hear, feel and see them as they were. But if I'm kind of channeling into something that's probably a little bit more positive and a bit more airy-fairy, I'm going to see them more than I actually hear them. I'll just have like shots of words. So yeah, so like it's for me, it's kind of like, cool, EVP voice, awesome, that's awesome. But like to have something like the springs, like that whole, like that's effort.
That's a physical movement.
Yeah.
And I had something similar also at Beechworth, where we were standing in the laundry and everything was shut off, and I've actually got recording of, you can hear a dryer going.
Oh, what?
Da-dum, 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 da-dum. In my very first Beechworth episode, you can hear a dryer, and we were in a band, nothing's on, you can hear the da-dum, like a sound of the dryer, and I'm like, that is residual, like that's wild, like
that's residual.
People can say like, oh, you know, like, oh, I hurt you. It could have been some bloke over there, or it could have been some whatever. It's like there's only 3 of us, and we were in this abandoned laundry, and there was a dryer playing. How the hell can you explain that when there was no dryer? Like, it's like, and there was no actual physical dryers still in the building though. Like, it wasn't. There was nothing there. It's just an empty shed.
It was completely like gutted, basically.
Oh, it was wild. And like, I got so excited by it. People like, oh, what were you saying? I'm like, because it's not a voice. It's like, it's something that's been captured in time that's not present now, but we can capture it on audio. How can you explain that? Like, whether you believe in ghosts or not. I don't give a fuck. Like, you'd be skeptical as hell, but you try and explain that to me. What, you think I'm going to go to my way to fake a fucking dryer sound? Like, what the
There's so
hell?
many
I'd fake it to,
yeah.
like, you know, no, I'd never fake fucking anything because I'd hate myself and never forgive myself again. But if you're
No,
going to do
but-
anything, you do something extreme. You're like, oh, there's
100%.
a demon in the thing, like being like, Sam, I'm coming to get your fucking, you know, where's your
Exactly.
$2 coin for the fucking dryer kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be like that rather than, I'm not just
the
going to go
dryer.
ting, 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 like, oh shit, I've accidentally left my keys in the pants that I put in the dryer. You know, it's like,
Yeah. Like, if I'm going to fake it, I'm actually going to go that extra mile to make it believable. I'm not just going to go,
who the hell has time? Like, I'm thinking,
oh, no.
if I had to fake this shit, I'll just feel like I could do anything else. Like, there could be anything else I could fake. It's like, yeah, it's hard enough for me to edit my own podcast, putting fake shit in there. I barely can even edit my real stuff, let alone putting fake shit in. It's just like, if you knew my abilities as an editor and technology, I'm like, I just can't. Everything I get is 100% real. And I try and make it as, you know, as clear as possible and as transparent as possible. And that's just all I do. Like, I would never put anything out there that I was not 100% sure what I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, that did not happen. Because I remember too, like, when I record stuff, you know who's around, you know where you are. I state, I'm like, I'm here in this bit, I'm alone, I'm this, that.
Yeah.
And if I hear any background noise, I will state there's background noise.
Yeah.
But majority of the stuff that I do put on, I'm alone in a room where there's no background noise. So
Yeah.
yeah.
100%. And, you know, like, it's really good that, you know, I think one of your recent episodes where, what was his name? Was it Michael that came through a couple of times? Is it Michael? The sort of, he said he was in the Navy or something.
Oh, from New South.
That's it. Yeah. And, you know, I
oh
loved,
God, yeah. Oh, he was so
Yes.
cute. Oh my God. And that was the first time I ever did a Ouija board. I was always but he was so funny. Holy hell. But when they were, because the majority of the time I did not step to the spirit board. I was away from it and I was getting images and thoughts in my head and I was translating as they were doing it. So I was saying stuff before they were kind of even
moving.
Yeah. And I was getting his, because the thing is I can't hear their voice, but I get their energy.
Yeah.
And I can sense what they look like and I can sense their personality.
Yeah.
I can't hear the voice specifically, but it comes through my head so quick. It's too quick for me to actually think about it, but I get their essence, what they were like, their personality traits, cheekiness, nastiness, all this sort of stuff. That's what I get, but I can't actually hear the specific voice. But I can tell who it is, the name, what they might have looked like, what sort of time. Like, I literally get images, but the actual hearing this specific voice, I can't. But at the same time, I get the rest of the picture. And then it's like thoughts that come through my head so quick that you couldn't make it up. And it was,
you can't register it quick enough to be able to fake that either.
Nah. And like, and why would you want to? But then guess, and then it comes through correctly either, and also on my audio and on the spirit board as well. So it's, but no, Michael was cheeky as hell.
He was.
You know, he was gorgeous. He was so funny.
Yeah.
He was like, I swear to God, he was like some half-pissed spirit that was just kind of like, oh, look at these idiots. But then he warmed up to us and he just loved it at the end. And he's just like, I think because they were the spirits up there in Rosie Revelton books. So they were so not used to people communicating with them. They were just kind of like, what the hell? And I just had the whole night being like, we need to go old school. I'm like, they're not going to work with a spirit box. They're not going to know how to do that. I'm like, you got the psychic board. I'm like, let's do old school. They're going to know how to do that. And that's all worked really well. It was cool.
100%. And I did notice that because I was sort of like, as I was listening, I was just like, I don't know if this is just a me thing too, but like I was able to kind of feel some of that energy a little bit. Like, I feel like they're just kind of not scared by you, but just kind of surprised, like why are you
what the
guys
hell?
even here? Yeah,
no, like, oh, what, you want to talk to us? Like, oh, yeah, no, we're here, kind of. Oh, yeah, and like I think, Michael initially was just taking the piss, just kind of like, is this actually
how can I
happening?
scare them?
Yeah, and then all of a sudden he realized we weren't scared. We actually wanted to communicate. He just softened so much, and he was still cheeky and cute, but we got amazing connection. And then the minute I stepped on that spirit box, and then my main guide Kyle, who's my cousin, who has passed away, it was just like You've
Yeah.
told everyone hell no, and then within 24 hours, here am I, like my little fingers are on the fucking planchette,
I have to
and I
tell
haven't
you,
done it since.
No, I was laughing because when I heard you say like, "Oh, I think I know who this is," and I obviously didn't get his name, but I was just like, "This is somebody that knows her," and he's like, "You're a dickhead for
Yeah,
doing this." I
literally.
said no. Like that was, and it was the vibe I kind of had, and I'm like, I just feel like it's just somebody like wasn't sure if it was relative, but or really
Yeah.
good friend, but I was like, this person is just going, I'm so gonna fucking teach you a
You've
lesson.
legit said you would never do this.
Yeah,
Then within 20, I was like literally doing like a presentation or a talk with other people. Oh, I'm not going to do this. I've never done it. Within less than 24 hours, here am I with my fingers on the fucking planche. And these just like, I think, yeah, like I know as soon as it hit K and I was like, I think it goes
Yeah.
K2, and then it was flashing, and we had the K2 meter going off at the same time as the spirit board. And I was like, is this Kyle? And then everyone else was starting to laugh, and I was just like, you mad? And he was called, it goes like DB, like dumb bitch. And I was like, oh no. I was like, don't hate me. And like, I could feel he was really disappointed. Like,
yeah,
and I feel like he wouldn't tell me not to do it if it wasn't a bad thing. So I think
Yeah.
it wasn't just because I didn't stick to my convictions. I think it was just because he's just like, you're too open. I
yeah,
can't be messing with that sort of shit because I don't know what I'm doing with it.
yeah,
The spirit box and everything else, I know what I'm doing. I know how to protect but that I'm so amateur. And I think, and there's always been something in me that has said, no, we don't do a Ouija board or a spirit.
Yep.
Yeah, we just don't, because I don't know how to A, manage it, and B, it's just always been something within me that has just gone, I don't think it's going to be good. And so, he messed with me a lot, but it was hilarious. It was so funny. He forgave me a bit afterwards, but I was like, sorry. I'm like, you know what I'm like? I'm like, I'm impulsive,
I just wanted to give it a go, and now you've told me not to do it, and I'm kind
It
of
was
like,
peer
"Oh."
pressure.
The spirit board made me do it. I didn't do anything.
Everyone else is doing it. Why can't I? And he's just like, DB. And I'm like, and there's other, I'm pretty sure the other chick was like, dumb bitch. And I'm like, yes. And then I was like, and then I even asked like what, star sign it, went to the correct star sign.
Yeah.
Because he's got the same birth date as my son. So he's my
right.
main, he's my main spirit guide. I think I've only
Yeah.
met him twice in real life, but it's been it's a long story, but yeah. So no, he always looks out for me. And then even if I'm on the spirit box and shit gets a bit gnarly, I get whistle. So he's always guarding and watching. So it's really cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that. And it's good that you're able to identify that it's like, yep, that's him. He's telling me enough's enough. Or
he's the
whatever,
oh yeah, and I listened. I was like, okay, I'm sorry. I'm like, please forgive me. I was just being curious, like but, spirit board curious, like kind of.
That's right, exactly. I just wanted to try it one time.
Come on, like can't we just all live once, kind of stuff. But yeah, no, it was fine. But yeah, no, it was hilarious. But I won't be doing it again. It was weird though to feel the planchette moving underneath your fingers. I was always like, oh yeah, right, bullshit. But then you're sitting there with two other people and you're watching them and you can tell they're not moving a goddamn thing. Like it's not moving. Like you're not, all three of you can't be thinking the same thing at once to move it without you move. It was actually, it was a crazy cool experience, but I've obviously been told not for me, so I won't be doing it again. I hope not. But yeah, no.
No, I'm with you. And it's like,
I don't trust myself. I'll probably end up getting possessed or some shit,
I'm the same. I'm kind of like, you know what? I use my tarot deck and I have my automatic writing, and then I obviously have my normal, like, whatever channeling you want to call it. But yeah, I was kind of like, the tarot I'm okay with because I feel that I have more control and connection to it. Whereas I think a spirit board, and it's tricky because I think they're,
I know, and so many people are so like, oh, what's wrong with it? And it's like, if it doesn't feel right, don't do it.
100%. And that's where I wonder if maybe like when they're being manufactured, that they're being manufactured with the wrong intention so that it's already kind of set up for failure. Like, just a thought that's crossed my head over the last couple of months where it's just like, I just
Oh, the intention's
wonder.
already set to be like, oh, let's scare the shit out of people with this
Yes.
sort of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see,
Yeah.
I love my spirit box. I'm amazing on the spirit box. My audio is my main thing. Like, I think spirit boards are for some people and just not for others. And
Yeah.
I've always had this innate feeling that, no, it's just not for me. I love my spirit box. I'm fucking awesome on it. I get so much cool shit. Like the other night, I swear to God, like probably 5 nights ago, I sat there for half an hour. I've got it recorded, and I reckon I spoke to every one of my deceased family members on the spirit box. It was
that's
so
awesome.
cool. Well, I know it was amazing in like my new little antique cool room.
Little space.
Yeah, my new little space, and it was just beautiful. And it was all really nice. And I could hear Kyle like kind of giving me a bit of shit, and then Pop was coming in, and then Nan was like, "Stop, stop." It was really sweet. It was gorgeous. But yeah, like I use my audio device, and because I'm so, audio sort of, clear audio kind of stuff. And then, but then in my mind, I get so many strong senses and images in my head and also thoughts in my head, and then occasionally smells or feelings and stuff. But the visual stuff, not so much. I kind of get occasionally flashes of different lights occasionally where I am. But yeah, that's about it. But yeah,
I love
but
that.
hence why I'm like, I'm so open. I'm just kind of, I feel like I'm like a lighthouse, like a beacon. I'm like, if I jump on the spirit board, I don't know who I'll be getting Captain Howdy, I'll be vomiting green shit, it'd be fucked. Like,
yeah. You'll end up being
I'm too
like that.
vulnerable for that shit. I'm just kind of like, no, I'll deal with what I know, and I can manage what I know, and I've got cool stuff to help me. Yeah, but a spirit board, I'm like, other people can, and obviously I've dabbled, and my main guide was not impressed. So I'm thinking I must take that as a
sign. Yeah, 100%. I agree. I've never done one, only because it's that same thing of you just don't do it. You know what I mean? Like it's that.
It's just there's this weird feeling, and it's there's been like a lot of stuff like that. Feel like, oh, let's do this to fucking weed you. So like it's made to come back, and I'm like, cool, you guys do that, but make sure that you know what you're doing and who you're talking to and what you're conjuring. And people say, oh, it's the same as the other stuff. And I'm like, no, I don't know, because like I use a lot of different technology to communicate with spirits, and most of my stuff is physical, but like I use a lot of audio, my spirit, and I'm just like, there's a reason why people have been saying shit about spirit boards for years. Like, it hasn't come out of nowhere. I'm not saying that you can't have great communication with it, but I'm just saying you need to know what you're doing. But that's the same thing with the spirit box. You need to also know how to cease the conversation and to cleanse everything after you finish it. So I know how to do that, but I don't know what to do at the end of spirit board. This is not what I do.
It's you sort of have you develop your own sort of rituals around how to protect yourself and equipment and different things like that. But what I suppose are your little rituals that you do kind of before an investigation, and I guess after as well? Like, do you have anything specific that you must follow when you do your investigations?
I've learned a lot. I never used to do anything at all. I never used to learn about crystals. I didn't know about saging. I didn't know about anything. I'd just be like, you can't follow me. And I'd go home and be like, I'm fine. But now, no, I always carry with me my protection sprays that I get, and sage as well. And also multiple different types of crystals, whatever I feel intuitively that I need. So it'll either be, I'll always carry selenite with me, always. Let's have it on me, especially, and also I like tourmaline as well. Well, this is black tourmaline, which I cleanse regularly, that I've always got with me. And oh my God, all the dark ones, all the dark crystals tend to be really great for protection. I just carry them with me, but then I've got like a whole heap of other ones as well that I'll just have there that are cleansed, ready to go, and I'll just intuitively pick what I feel like I need, and I'll put them either in my pockets or on my body or in my bag. So as long as with sage spray, and I always, before I go into an investigation, I ground. I ask my ancestors and spiritual guides for protection. It only takes a minute. You just got to just ground, put yourself there, and say, all right, I'm going in there. I'm going to connect with good stuff. I need some protection from negative things. If I feel negative stuff, I will remove myself from the situation. And then once you leave, you pretty much do the same thing. You ground and say, thank you for tonight. Happy to talk to you, but you can't come with me. You're not welcome. And you sage and cleanse, and I use my selenite and stuff, and I go home, and you just have to be really firm in that kind of thing. If you get
Boundaries.
home and you don't feel good, salt baths are great.
Yep.
Amazing. Or you get in the shower and listen and do some white light cleansing as well. And but water is a massive, big thing with cleansing the body and cleansing the aura after doing something that might not have been so great. But the sooner the better.
Yeah. I love that. Great advice. Brilliant advice. So for anybody that is listening, if you're curious on how to obviously cleanse yourself or protect yourself before doing anything,
Salt's amazing.
Salt is wonderful on many levels. But yeah, that really, really good advice there. I'm similar to you. I have I'll always have like my evil eye jewelry on in like every day. Like that's just what I do. It just keeps the negative shit away.
Obsidian's good. Obsidian,
Black
tourmaline.
obsidian.
Yeah, black obsidian, tourmaline, and hang on, it'll come to me in a second. There's another one. That's kind of like a silvery black color. I've like lost my brain. Hang on.
I know Tiger Eye and something Jasper is also really good too.
There's something that I use as a ring as well.
Yeah.
It'll come to me, but there's multiple ones that are used specifically for spiritual connection and also to for psychic attacks as well. But yeah, tourmaline, obsidian, selenite is great as a stick. Is awesome.
Citronite. Is that it?
No, it's like hematite. That's what I was thinking. Hematite.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, hematite. Yeah, no, I know. I was sitting there like, hang on, no. So yeah, I usually use obsidian, hematite, tourmaline, and selenite, and also I carry my sage sprays with me with protection sprays and just things I use. But selenite's really great if you feel anything, and you've also got to protect your psychic eye because it's at the back of your neck. So you can use the Christos thing on the back of your neck before you go in to kind of seal off anything negative. There's heaps of things you can do, and there's also like egg cleansing and stuff you can do when you get home to cleanse your aura. There's a whole lot of things, but yeah, it depends on what you believe in and what you value. But I think at the basis, if you go in with the right intention, with some protection on you, especially in your mind, and you ground, you get protection from your ancestors and your spiritual guides. And then as you leave, you do the same ritual, but say you cannot come with me, you have to stay, like, thank you so much, but no thank you. And then do the whole thing again. And if you use a bit of sage, whatever, and then if you feel like it hasn't worked, then salt bath when you get home, really.
I love that. That's awesome. Because I'm a bit the same as you. Like, I kind of just like I do have a couple of different crystals, and I'm very similar, where it's kind of like, oh, which one am I feeling that I really need right now? And you'll just pick one up and go, yep, this is the one, and you've got it for the day.
It's all intuitive. You just got to be intuitive. I'll just grab them and I don't even know what the hell I got, but I'll always have selenite with me though.
Yeah.
Always with my stick of selenite, so I can wipe off anything. Especially around your psychic eye, around the back. People think it's there, but it's like at the back of your neck is like really sensitive. It's like if you've got something you can cleanse your shoulders with, or if you feel like something's on you, a selenite stick is the best thing, just to wipe it off. Yeah, it's really good.
Oh, I love that. That's awesome. And I suppose, well, we've sort of like kind of covered off on some of those types of things, but I suppose kind of pulling back into your podcast, I suppose, is when it comes to shaping your episodes. So I know that you do lots of different things in yours. You've obviously got paranormal storytelling. You do also have interviews, and you do have your investigations kind of all in your episodes. So I guess, how do you decide what you want to share in the podcast and what you kind of want to keep as more of a personal memory or experience, I suppose? And how do you follow? Is there a structure or no structure?
No, me by definition, I have zero structure. I 100% go intuitive. So if I capture an EVP that I feel is really personal, I won't share it. I've got quite a lot that have been, I'm just like, if that was me, I would not want that blasted on anything. I don't care who it was. So there's a lot of it, I think, some of the spirits that have spoken to me about some really traumatic events have spoken to me, and I felt it be really rude to put it on there just for likes or fucking whatever.
Yeah.
Like there is actually one thing that I have posted a while back that I kind of regret, but then at the same time I'm kind of happy that I did, because I think I have freed her a little bit, that someone, because I had gone through something similar. So
Yeah.
but at the same time I'm very sensitive to sensitive topics, and if I get an EVP that is quite confronting,
Yeah.
I'll wait and see how I feel about it. But at the same time, I will never post anything until I'm like, yeah, no, I feel like this is what that person, what that spirit would want me to say. Or if it was just something to me that they just wanted me to know. I just do completely intuitive. And a lot of mine just like, hey, like, cool kind of stuff. But there has been a few that I'm like, that's too personal, and I don't want to get follows, likes, or I'm not here about that at all. Like I'd prefer just for them to know that they've told me, and so someone knows, rather than I'm not here for. Yeah, I don't want to put stuff on there just because I've heard it and I've been lucky enough to hear it, and then abuse that trust. So yeah, and I think that's why I get really great EVPs, because I don't abuse the trust. Like it's kind of. I know what I should put on there and what I shouldn't. And some stuff that I hear, I'm like, no, that's just for me. And then other stuff, I'm like, yeah, I know. Yeah, that's cool. That's fine to put on. So, I'm always trying to be very sensitive, especially trauma informed and things like that as well. I am particular, and I will go, I feel like that's just and I don't know, it's like, it's just a feeling that I get that I'm like, no, I think that was a message just for me. And then other ones that are really cool, I'm just like, then I'm like, no, that they're happy for it to be. It's hard to explain. Yeah.
I get, like, I get exactly what you mean, because it's funny because, like, when obviously, like, in my first episodes of my podcast, and I was covering off on a lot of the UFO stuff, and weirdly enough, it was a topic that I was going to cover a bit later in like my initial thoughts were like, this is one that I'll kind of cover off a bit later. But because I'd had so many eerie experiences in that whole process of researching it and everything like that, I was like, I feel like this needs to go first. And there were certain things that I received where I was kind of like, I don't know whether I should share this, because there was also the other side of it where it's like, it's one thing having the message come through to you, but I suppose in that topic itself, it's quite a secretive topic as it is. And there was also this element of fear about how much am I sharing that I've channeled from this being that's not going to have people up on my doorstep in black suits going, you've got to come with us. Do you know what I mean? Like there was that element of fear there too. So,
but I think that's like they're testing, trusting as well. Like they'll give you a bit and they're like, hang on, let's see how much cognitive ability they have to say what they say and what they don't. So that's why I've always been very careful, and
you pick.
I want to hear what they want to say, but I've got some amazing EVPs that I'm like, this would break the fucking internet, but I'm like, I won't do it out of respect. I just won't do it, because I'm like, I can tell
that's a personal thing. Yeah.
That was something that was really, that they shared with me. And if I did that, that would be like someone sharing a fucking titty pic of me when I didn't tell them to, you know? You know what I mean? It's like literally like unsolicited stuff. Like they're probably trying to talk to me, you know, and but I think that they know that that's hence why they've spoken to me, because they know that I won't share it, but they just needed to tell somebody. So I'm very, very cautious and incredibly respectful, because but yeah, no, there is one EVP I can think of that on reflection I'm like, oh fuck, I probably shouldn't have, but at the same time I was very delicate in how I
approached it.
Yeah. I didn't say a name or what had happened. I was very broad.
General,
but it was just so pure, and I sort of thought, well, hang on, I've been through something similar. So, and I left it so broad that it would know who it was, but it was more just about creating the awareness that can happen kind of thing. So I felt okay with that. But yeah, and I'm also very careful about names and stuff.
Me too.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So even me personally, if I've had it confirmed that they've been a person, I'm always super careful about blasting that stuff because there are still remaining family members.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there has been some quite private stuff that has come out that I'm like, I'm not going to say that because they've told me, but that's not my story to tell. Like,
Yeah, 100%.
you know, or I might do like a little bit, but I won't go into detail about who, what, when, why, how. Like, it's still
Yes.
very secretive and
It's-
very,
It's
because it's not my
generalised.
story.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's right. Yeah, it's generalized in a way where you can kind of, as you said, build that awareness without actually
Naming the
making it-
person and
Yeah.
they're still
and
getting their story out there, but they've still got the element of it's still my
privacy.
private stuff. So,
Yes.
and that's worked out really well. I haven't had anything. Yeah, I just think that the minute if I lose that and I start being disrespectful is the minute I'm going to stop getting communication because they're just going to go, nah, you're just going to abuse this for your own self bullshit.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, hell no.
Yeah.
Like nothing that I do with this paranormal anything, like with my podcast, has anything to do with me. It's literally my main passion is bumping up the volume on voices that have been silenced or that have been diminished over time or they haven't been able to be heard. That's my thing. Like, you know, I don't earn money from this. Like, this is like just my passion. I love this. Like, I have a job. I do my job. This is something that I do that I just adore. Like, you know, and love, you know, eventually be cool. But at the same time, I'm not going to use spirits to get me money.
Yeah,
Even more like
100%.
give me money to do this, not to you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're not performing monkeys. Like they're
Yeah.
they were human beings that have been kind enough to share their story with me. So I would that's
100%.
my utmost thing. I'm really respectful of that.
Yeah, I love that. 100%. That's awesome. And I guess too, like kind of piggybacking from that with any of your episodes, like however they're structured, but have you ever had any kind of like weird tech glitches or anything in your editing processes where you've just been like, dude, what the actual fuck just happened?
I've captured EVPs on my episodes, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
As I've been recording, yeah. There's been a couple, and even as I was speaking about my main guide, I got in one of them as well, and I was like, but
awesome.
So no, not really though. Like I've been allowed to do pretty much what I've wanted to do, but of late I have noticed a hell of a lot more technical glitches, but I feel like it's not nasty. I think it's just like like just being cheeky. Just kind of like this is gonna piss her off, so let's just do that. Like
And let's just remind her that we're still here and being like, bitch, hello.
Literally, like majority of the time, like I think there might have been a couple of times I've gone out and tried to do an EVP session. I thought I've recorded it, it's disappeared. But I think there's been like I have never had my camera drained, or I might have had my phone drained a lot quicker, but at the same time, I haven't had anything drastic. But definitely I have captured when I've interviewed people as well, EVPs, and I reckon at the beginning of ours, I heard something at the beginning, like probably in the first couple of minutes, there was, and they like to pop up and just go, oh yeah, hey, but yeah, no, there's I don't get much interference, except for the last interview that I did. We kept glitching so much, and I'm just like, this is crazy. And she's like, oh my god, I've got like, we both had 5G perfect connection, and it was just, it kept dropping out and all this sort of stuff, and I'm like, nah, someone's just playing. I'm like,